Hello, my lovely PowerCats, and welcome back to Enigmarella. Where we last left off, Alice Ronner was asked on a date by Esmond, which upset a few people, including Leah. So, let's get back into it.
Oh, Alice, I'm so sorry. I found it like this, but I didn't catch who did it.
My good dress! This has Leah written all over it.
I don't think you should blame Leah right away. There are many others who would have done that if given half the chance. I'm sorry to say, but you're not exactly popular.
I like Nina. She's very honest.
Now I have nothing to wear for tomorrow. Mark my words, Nina. If my date is ruined, Leah is going to pay.
I think Leah has other things in her mind. She was crying so terribly when we got back.
Of course she was. She's jealous that he noticed me instead of her.
But I have an idea. You can wear one of my dresses.
Right, like they would fit.
Maybe you should reconsider this whole date thing. Miss Lantier has her reasons for not letting you out, Alice.
I am getting tired of all of this, Nina. Seriously, what did I ever do to anybody?
Probably a lot of things, so you're not popular.
Your father?
Oh. Generational stuff.
I get it. They all believe he did something terrible. But I am not him.
Hatred goes a long way.
He was also a baron, and...
Say, Nina, have you ever gone on a date with a boy before? I mean, you go out to work every day. Surely you must have met someone.
Changing the subject, okay.
Well, not exactly. You see, I've never met a boy that I actually like.
Well, I've never met a boy at all. I'm not saying I'll jump into the arms of this showman, whatever his name is, and allow him to do as he pleases with me. All I want to know is what it feels like to go out with someone.
I know, dear.
Can you believe Leah would take all that trouble to get into our room and destroy my good dress?
I really don't think...
Oh, that girl is going to get what's coming to her.
I don't think it was Leah either. It's probably Miss Lantier.
Alice, wait.
I like Nina. She sounds very mature and very, like,
Leah was
tired.
hiding in a corner with her porticom. The thing was flashing and ringing, but she wouldn't answer it. You vicious scumbag wench! How could you do that to my dress?
A proper lady must hold herself above reproach.
Her face was all puffy from crying. I didn't think my outburst would upset her so badly, but I was too mad about my dress to really care.
What are you talking about? I didn't lay a hand on that ugly dress of yours.
Oh, spare me the lies and the tears. We both know you're jealous that the showman asked me out instead of you.
You really have no idea what you were talking about.
I think Leah and Esmond were already dating.
Well, for your information, Lantier is going to let me go out with him tomorrow. And I am definitely going to kiss him goodnight.
Yeah, well, he may want a little more than that.
Yeah.
Tears rolled down her cheeks again.
There's something going on between them. Not Leah and Esmond.
But I guess you'll never know.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means I know you're bluffing. Lantia did not give you permission to go out.
She said she would think about it.
She lied to you. When I said you couldn't go on a date with him, I meant it literally.
What?
For Neptune's sake, Alice. You're old enough to know the difference between nobility and egalitarians. By law, people of noble birth are not allowed to date.
Oh, that is true. It's usually courtship and then they get into an arranged marriage.
But I'm an orphan and I'm poor. That shouldn't apply to me.
It makes no difference. You are who you are.
Which is sad. You should be able to decide what you do.
Lantia has placed the whole institute on lockdown, just so you know the importance of the matter.
What? That can't be.
Go ask her yourself if you don't believe me.
Go sneak out, Alice.
And Alice, whomever tore apart that dress of yours was doing you a favour. It made you look like a platypus.
A platypus?
But platypus are cute. I think so anyway.
I rushed to Lantier's office. I had to find out if what Leah said was even remotely true. Lantier, what does it mean that the Institute is on lockdown?
It means precisely that. Until further notice, nobody gets in, and more importantly, nobody goes out.
But you said... Is this because of my request? Why are you doing this to me?
This is not just about you.
You sure about that?
You can't keep me locked in here forever. I'm not a child anymore.
You act like one.
Is that so? Are you truly that certain that you are a grown-up woman now?
I don't like that.
Of course I am. I'm legally an adult.
But you don't act like one. You act like a high schooler.
Do you even know the implications of what you are saying?
It means that you can't keep me here against my will.
It also means you're old enough to marry.
Oh shit.
Marry? Hold your dolphins, Lantier. I was just asked on a date. I mean, I'm partially going just to piss off Leah. The guy's not even my type, and I'm certainly not going to marry him.
You're gonna marry someone else.
I'm sort of saving myself for the chaser, you know?
The chaser? Oh, Alice.
She sounds so tired. I can just see her doing like this when it comes to Alice.
What? He might be real for all you know.
These sort of thoughts are exactly why I need to take these kinds of measures. You may be of age both legally and physically, but you still act like a spoilt child.
Yep.
You can be so naive and so reckless at the same time. You're a danger to yourself, and you are a danger to this institute.
Don't you think you're overreacting a bit?
Alice, I don't know why it hasn't sunken into that big head of yours that you are nobility. As such, the rules that apply to you are not the same as those which apply to the other girls.
Why don't you let her decide what she wants to do?
For one, it is illegal for you to date in general. And even more so if the man in question is an egalitarian.
Well, I should be exempt from my nobility restrictions. I am a freaking orphan, for Neptune's sake. I'm as egalitarian as you.
No, you are not. That's the problem. You may consider yourself an egalitarian, but you are not one of us. Believe me, Alice, I would have wanted this to happen under better circumstances.
What are you talking about?
I should have had this conversation with you a long time ago.
All right. This sounds ominous enough. She straightened her posture, appearing much more formal and somber than before. I wondered if she had actually rehearsed what she was about to tell me. She then gave me her infamous, "Don't interrupt me" look.
His Highness, Duke Faust Gerling, is a crucial supporter of this institute and has been for over a decade now. He is not only the Lord Regent of this island, but also one of the wealthiest men in all of Poseidia. He's the actual owner of the house we inhabit. There are a lot of noble families in the capital who would give anything to be able to arrange a marriage between one of their daughters and Lord Gerling.
Arranged marriages?
Oh no.
What in Neptune's name are you talking about?
I already know what happens, but I'm gonna be all surprised for you guys.
The reason why people like you, or our lord for that matter, are not allowed to date is because the Poseidian's custom, the law for nobility, dictates that all highborn marriages should be arranged according to the best interests of Poseidia.
Well, why wasn't I informed about that?
I thought your father...
I can barely remember my father. What makes you think I would remember if he ever told me about this Poseidian custom?
I suppose you never read the book I gave you either. Oh, Alice.
Does that mean...
You're in an arranged marriage.
An arrangement was made a long time ago that says Lord Gerling and you are to be married as soon as you are both old enough to do so.
Is Lord Gerling older than Alice, I wonder?
And since you have officially declared your status as an adult...
It backfired.
This is not happening. Married? Married to a man I had never even met. Time ceased to exist for me in that moment as I stood there inside Lantier's office. That fancy speech, and all that time she must have spent preparing it. All to tell me that I was going to be forced into an arranged marriage. I wondered how long I had been promised to this Lord What's-His-Name without even knowing it. Was he some kind of pervert? I felt my heart compressing inside my chest.
The sad thing is, like, a lot of marriages back then and still now are like this, so it's like... I couldn't imagine being, like, in a position where you have no say in who you marry and whatnot.
I didn't know how to react. Part of me wanted to scream and fight. To let Lantier know that she couldn't just push me into this barbarity and expect me to accept it with a gracious smile. Another part, however, urged me to keep calm, to try to reason with her and look for an alternative that would let me off the hook.
Try to reason with her.
I suppose I don't have any choice in the matter. But I mean, if I don't have any family left, technically nobody can testify that I'm nobility, right?
As much as it pains me to say so, no, Alice. You don't have any choice in the matter. When I took you in after your father's death, I became responsible for keeping you within the law. That's why I gave you the book.
You could have explained it to me, you know?
I can't. As an egalitarian, I am not allowed to know the specifics of the Poseidian custom.
So, when it comes to egalitarianism, we learned about this in anthropology class, but like, you're both equal in the government, but technically you're not equal. That's from what I remember. So, I'm not sure how Poseidia is, but like, women don't really have a lot of rights in egalitarianism, but the men have a lot of rights, but they're still equal, even though they're not equal. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
All I know is that there is a contract, and you are required to fulfill it.
Oh shit. Sorry, everyone.
But
I had nothing to do with it, Alice. There is an official document in the Poseidian archive, signed by the Duke himself.
can't we, I don't know, fake my death or something?
It's not that easy, Alice. I cannot afford the luxury of breaking the law. As you know, this institute sustains itself mostly upon the donations made by our private benefactors.
I know, but
Without them, I would have no choice but to throw most of our girls out into the streets. It would mean the workhouse for the lucky ones.
Workhouse as in a brothel?
As for the not so lucky, like your pretty friend Nina, it would mean a very different kind of house. The kind where beauty is a valuable commodity, and innocence is literally beaten out of girls. If you know what I mean.
A brothel. That's not okay.
well, that sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
Would you trust the well-being of these women to someone who breaks the law?
So, Alice marrying Girling as a way to help the orphanage?
I guess I wouldn't.
Because it's a
Neither
power
would our
move.
benefactors.
Power move.
Tell me, girl, did you really think you'd stay here forever?
I'd never thought about that. I just assumed I would stay here as the local nurse or something.
The local nurse? You don't even have medical training. I don't like this any more than you, but the good of the many supersedes the good of the individual.
Really? Who said that?
Your father.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna say that.
As bad as it looked, there was nothing I could do to change Lantier's mind. My only hope was to try and buy myself some time. Well, in that case, I guess we have a wedding to plan. I believe it should take a few months, you know? To get everything properly organized for this Lord Girling.
Watch everything already be planned.
Besides, it's impossible to get daffodils this time of year, and I really can't get married without daffodils.
A few months? The ceremony will be happening tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, the Institute will remain on lockdown, just in case you were considering doing anything cute.
Well.
Which means you'll have to make do without the daffodils.
And just like that, all of the excitement brought on by my birthday and first date was devastated by the overwhelming terror of my impending wedding.
So I wonder if she's like 18, 19 years old, maybe 20.
Don't see this as such a tragedy, girl. There are many ways to move around in marriage. You will most certainly benefit from that.
What would you know about marriage? You are the town's biggest spinster.
Well, that was rude.
As soon as I said that, I could see a deep sadness welling up within her eyes. For a moment, Rosalind Lantier looked older than she could ever possibly be. It was as if the ultimatum of my thoughtless words had utterly ransacked her bitter soul. I felt like I might have gone a bit too far.
Yeah, you should probably apologize. Apologize.
I'm sorry, Lantier. I shouldn't have said that.
You really need to control that temper of yours, Alice. It is wiser to think on what you say, rather than it is to just say what you think. Now, I believe you should go to bed. We have a big day tomorrow, and I wouldn't want you to meet your betrothed looking like the living dead.
I guess so.
You can look on the bright side, dear. Lord Girling is a very rich man. You'll be living like a princess.
I wonder if Alice can still visit Nina and Leah while she's married.
Oh, Nina, how can you even think there is any good in this situation? For all we know, he may be a hideous old pervert.
Oh, he's not.
You'll be fine. I mean, I don't think Lantier would be capable of forcing you to marry a horrible monster. She can't be that cruel.
You really underestimate her. Besides, according to her, my marriage was arranged Neptune knows how long ago. She had nothing to do with it. Although she did seem in such a hurry for this wedding to happen.
Took a moment back to confident all my belongings.
I thought about my father for a moment. Like most of my life before the Institute, his memory was only a blurry picture in my head. If I knew his face, it was only because of the picture I kept of him. Lantier once told me that his death left a major impact on my mind. Thus why it wiped away all of my earlier memories in order to protect itself. If he had ever explained the rules of nobility to me, or if I had known beforehand about the contract, chances were that I'd forgotten all about it. Without a story to be a part of, I had to create my own legacy. But now, I apparently couldn't do that anymore. I wasn't my own person anymore. And it felt so wrong for me to live by the rules of a life that I couldn't remember. I wouldn't do it. You know what? I'm going to escape tonight.
Good luck.
Alice, dear.
You may be right, Nina, but it may at least be worth a try. Will you come with me?
I would never abandon you. You know that. But don't you think we would need a plan first, you know, before we...
Don't chicken out on me, Nina, please. You're the only friend I have in the whole world. We can go and look for the showman and ask him to help us. We will work for our living. I'm sure he can find some use for 2 assistants. Or, even better, we could go looking for the chaser. Yes! Oh, the chaser is the perfect choice.
Alice.
Alice, dear, you know I've always believed your stories about the chaser. But don't you think that, given how you haven't actually seen him, well, that he can be a bit unreliable?
Nonsense. I'm completely sure he's out there somewhere. And we will find him.
Neptune have mercy.
I have an idea. Quite brilliant, if I may say so. We are going to sneak out, hidden within the garbage.
Icky smell aside, you forget we're on lockdown. The garbage won't be taken out tomorrow.
We'll work that out. Please, Nina, stay with me on this one, won't you?
But, wait, what about clothes? Do you even know where the chaser, if he exists, might be right now? Or what he looks like, for that matter?
I'm pretty sure that I'll know him when I see him.
But what are we going to eat?
I'll show you my planned route through the kitchen. We'll grab some food on our way out. As for clothing, we can throw stuff out the window. Any window will do. Well, unless it leads to the garden instead of the street. In that case, it won't do.
I'm afraid we may need to think this through a little bit more. Maybe sleep on it?
There's no time! Our plan is good and ready. Start packing while I check the hall is clear. What are you doing here? Out of my way!
Miss Lantier sent me to stand guard outside your door to make sure you don't go anywhere.
Nina? There seems to be a slight complication with the plan.
I honestly think Alice could take her in a fight.
However, since you at least tried to help me out earlier today, And I am such a good friend. I believe we can work something out.
Oh, so she does acknowledge that that Alice tried to help.
Really? Like what?
Just so you know, Lantia has police officers guarding all the exits, and yours truly will be bringing them some tea later on. Any ideas?
An officer at every exit? Since when is a single girl worth all that trouble?
Are they gonna drug the tea? Oh.
Not that I'm saying Alice is not important, because she is. It's just that...
For Neptune's sake, Nina, you are so out of touch with reality. Miss Alice here is not just a girl. She is nobility, and promised to the Lord Regent of this island.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
I mean, I don't even know why you want to escape. Lord Girling is a wonderful man. Although he is our Lord Regent and insanely wealthy, he is a very kind person. He is also quite gorgeous.
Gorgeous?
Almost as handsome as my showman.
Oh, I knew it. Esmond and Leah are a thing.
I thought gorgeous could only be said about girls.
It can be said about guys too. I met some gorgeous guys.
How would you know what he looks like, Leah?
I met with him once.
She's with Esmond, I knew it.
What?
If I were you, Alice, I would be so happy to marry Lord Girling. I mean, it's not like you could do any better.
Well, that was rude.
I can do way better than you. Or have you forgotten already?
I mean, she's probably with Esmond.
Stop it, or else I won't help you. Besides, what are you planning to do once you escape? I mean, it's not like you have anything going on out there.
I hated to admit it, but Leah had a point. I didn't really have much idea of what to do once I escaped.
I don't think she actually could, because it's too risky.
I guess you may be right. It's not like I even have a job to support myself.
Of course I'm right. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think about opening this door again. Because next time you do, I am going to scream so loud that the whole town will hear me.
I was trying to tell you.
You know, Alice, if you hadn't been so mean this afternoon...
Oh, bite me.
And just so you know, Miss Lantia has already told Inspector Gilbert that there is an escape threat.
I'm still surprised that Inspector Gilbert would have an officer stationed at every exit.
Like, seriously, Alice, you could be such a tramp.
Man, you are just spitting out insults.
So much for our heroic escape.
Not that I'm saying Alice isn't important, but who would suspect a noble girl, let alone a future duchess, to be locked in an institute?
We were really close, and the plan was so good.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Inspector Gilbert seems to always go the extra mile for Lantier. Not that I've been checking or anything. That would be nosy.
They're probably a couple.
I mean, really? I don't even know what he saw in you. He and I even...
Am I being nosy? It's just that... Well, he seems to really like her.
Called it.
Seriously? Since, like, when is the most handsome man this town has ever produced attracted to Alice?
They're just talking to themselves right now. and Alice is just like, I'm right here.
And, well, it's not like I'm judging, but Lantier is not that old, and she is a very beautiful woman.
I mean, what could be so special about Alice?
Oh my god, they're both like just bantering.
It's only natural that a man like Inspector Gilbert would want to be in her good graces.
What could make a man like him so interested in a girl like...
Oh my god. Alice, are you gonna say something?
He wants to make her feel safe. Safe from Alice escaping, or safe from someone else coming in to take her. That means that someone must know how important Alice really is.
Esmond.
Wait a second. Wasn't your father like one of those high-class lords?
I knew it. Esmond knows about Alice through her dad.
A baron, I believe.
Then that explains it all, dumbass.
That's why Esmond wanted to go with Alice, because he knows her status.
Care to elaborate?
Oh, Alice, you are totally dense. I mean, everybody knows that all highborn have their marriages arranged for them since birth. It's the law. I mean, really. It's like nobility breeds in even numbers just so they can arrange marriages. And, just so you know, this particular island only had 3 noble families. And let's just say there was this highborn house with this beautiful and lovely daughter, you know? The kind of girl a man like Lord Girling would want to marry.
I know.
But from what I've heard, she's dead. So Lord Girling has to make do with what's left.
Well, that was rude.
Of course! If the first candidate died, then it's only natural they'd want to be extra careful with the second.
And that would be you, Alice Rana.
Great. So I'm a booby prize.
We can call it second best, if you like.
Not helping, Nina. Besides, shouldn't a man like him be able to take his pick from any girl in the capital?
Maybe he has some dark secret. Like something so twisted and so bizarre that he just can't show it to any proper lady. I mean, what if he's into...
I think we should all go to sleep. There isn't much else we can do. Tomorrow, I'll go to the market and ask around, and see what people know about Lord Girling.
And since I'm such an excellent person, I will go find the showman for you.
Oh, sweetie. You just try and get some rest, and we'll do our best to help you.
Yes. You get some sleep and leave the showman to me.
I can't guarantee you that I will sleep, but I can always try.
Okay, so we're at 32 minutes right now. That's all we have for the day. I will see you in the next video. And if you want to follow my social media, the links are in the description. If you want to buy Enigmarella, I'll also put a link down there. It's on the early access right now, so there's that. And if you want to share, comment, like, subscribe, go for it. I'll see you in the next video.